The tale begins with the enigmatic Mr. Straker arriving in Salem's Lot, a town haunted by dark rumors and an eerie past. Straker hires Mr. Snow to transport a mysterious, heavy crate to the infamous Marston House, a derelict mansion perched ominously on the hill overlooking the town. Locals whisper of its sinister history, associating it with Hubert Marston, a man rumored to have been a Satan worshipper before his violent demise. Straker's instructions are precise: the crate must be placed in the house's cellar. Snow and his team uneasily comply, disturbed by the crate's unnatural weight and its contents, which seem to be packed with dirt. They finish their task and leave hastily, feeling an unshakable sense of dread. A returning son. Enter Ben Mears, a writer who grew up in Salem's Lot and has returned seeking inspiration for his next book. Haunted by his own tragic past, Ben finds the town largely unchanged but for the chilling addition of new residents, the mysterious Straker and his partner, Kurt Barlow, who has yet to be seen. Ben's arrival stirs the town's tightly knit social fabric. He reconnects with Eva Miller, who offers him a room, and meets Susan Norton, a local woman whose curiosity about his work soon turns into mutual affection. The first signs. Strange occurrences begin to disrupt the town's tranquility. Children disappear, most notably Ralphie Glick, whose brother Danny returns pale and sickly after an unexplained absence. Danny is hospitalized with a severe case of anemia, but his condition worsens inexplicably. When Danny succumbs, his mother is horrified to witness her son rise from his deathbed, thirsting for blood. These events signal the creeping influence of an ancient evil. Ben, plagued by suspicions about the Marston house and its new occupants, begins to piece together a horrific truth: Salem's Lot is falling prey to a vampire infestation. Gathering allies. Ben seeks allies in his fight against the darkness. Among them are Matt Burke, a wise schoolteacher who begins to suspect the supernatural after a chilling encounter with a transformed Mike Ryerson, and Mark Petrie, a resourceful young boy who demonstrates unusual courage after narrowly escaping an attack by one of the newly turned vampires. As the town succumbs to the spreading plague, Ben, Matt, and Mark realize that the Marston house is the epicenter of the evil. They deduce that Kurt Barlow, Straker's elusive partner, is an ancient vampire orchestrating the town's descent into darkness. Confrontation at the Marston house. The group devises a plan to confront the evil at its source. As they infiltrate the Marston house, they are met with gruesome sights: coffins filled with the town's newly turned vampires, and Straker, who confronts them with fanatical devotion to his master. A fierce battle ensues, and Straker is defeated, but the group's victory is short-lived. Barlow proves to be a formidable foe. The ancient vampire, with his cunning and strength, forces the group to confront their deepest fears. In a climactic confrontation, Ben manages to destroy Barlow by driving a stake through his heart, but not without great cost. Aftermath. With Barlow destroyed, the grip of evil on Salem's Lot weakens. However, the town is left irrevocably scarred. Many of its residents have perished or been turned into vampires, leaving Ben and Mark among the few survivors. Together, they resolve to leave Salem's Lot, but the memories of their ordeal linger, a haunting reminder of the darkness that once consumed the town. The deepening shadows. As more residents fall victim to mysterious illnesses or vanish without a trace, Salem's Lot becomes a town under siege. The local authorities, led by Constable Parkins Gillespie, remain skeptical, attributing the incidents to natural causes. However, whispers of vampires grow among the few who dare acknowledge the strange happenings. Ben and Matt investigate further, uncovering unsettling evidence that the Marston house is the epicenter of these dark occurrences. Matt recounts his encounter with Mike Ryerson, whose chilling transformation and unnatural behavior confirm their worst fears: vampires are real, and they are spreading their curse. Meanwhile, Mark Petrie, a clever and resilient boy with a fascination for magic and monster lore, has a harrowing experience of his own. He faces off against Danny Glick, now a vampire, and manages to fend him off with a makeshift cross. Mark's bravery earns him a place among Ben and Matt's allies, who are growing increasingly desperate to contain the spreading darkness. Love and loss. As the group battles the rising tide of evil, Ben and Susan's relationship deepens. Susan's curiosity about the Marston house leads her to investigate on her own, but this decision proves tragic. Straker captures her and offers her to Barlow, who turns her into a vampire. When Ben discovers Susan's fate, he is devastated but resolute. He confronts her, now a creature of the night, and reluctantly destroys her, a moment that solidifies his determination to end Barlow's reign of terror. A town under siege. The residents of Salem's Lot grow increasingly paranoid as the vampire infestation spreads. Families barricade themselves indoors, and once bustling streets fall eerily silent after dark. Father Callahan, the town's priest, is drawn into the conflict as the group seeks his help. Initially skeptical, Callahan becomes a believer after witnessing the vampire's malevolent power firsthand. Barlow, cunning and ruthless, begins targeting the group's allies to weaken their resolve. He confronts Callahan in a chilling encounter, offering him a Faustian choice: submit to the darkness or face destruction. Callahan falters, and though he survives, he is left spiritually broken and banished from the town, a victim of his own weakness. The final battle. Ben, Matt, Mark, and their remaining allies decide to take the fight directly to the Marston house. Armed with stakes, crosses, and holy water, they infiltrate the mansion, determined to destroy Barlow and his progeny. The house itself seems alive with malevolence, its dark halls echoing with whispers and shadows. Inside the cellar, they discover Barlow's coffin surrounded by the undead. A fierce battle ensues as the group fights off the vampires to reach the ancient monster. Barlow awakens, revealing his full, terrifying power. In a climactic struggle, Ben drives a stake through Barlow's heart, ending his reign of terror. The other vampires, deprived of their master, perish as the curse is lifted. Escape and reflection. With the battle won, the survivors emerge from the Marston house into a town forever changed. Salem's Lot, once a quaint New England community, is now a ghost town, its population decimated by the horrors that unfolded. Ben and Mark leave together, haunted by their experiences but united in their determination to move forward. As they drive away, the sun rises over the lot, casting its light on the empty streets and abandoned homes. Though the immediate danger has passed, the scars left by the vampires will linger, a grim reminder of the darkness that can lurk even in the most ordinary places. The Marston House, a symbol of fear. Throughout Salem's Lot, 2024, the Marston House looms as a silent antagonist, its sinister presence influencing both the characters and the town. As the group prepares for their final confrontation, Matt Burke shares his knowledge of the house's dark history, from Hubert Marston's alleged satanic rituals to the strange disappearances tied to the property. This history reinforces the house's symbolic role as the epicenter of evil, where the physical and supernatural converge. Ben reflects on his childhood memories of the Marston house, recalling the terror it instilled even then. His return to the lot is as much about confronting his own fears as it is about uncovering the truth. This personal connection deepens Ben's resolve to face Barlow and destroy the evil that has taken root. The town's descent. As the vampire plague spreads, the town's atmosphere shifts dramatically. Formerly vibrant streets grow desolate, and trust among neighbors erodes. The group's allies are whittled down, either through death or transformation. Father Callahan's fall from grace becomes a pivotal moment in the story, highlighting the fragility of faith in the face of overwhelming evil. Callahan's encounter with Barlow is a chilling example of the vampire's manipulative power. Barlow mocks the priest's wavering faith, exposing his doubts and fears. Though Callahan survives, he is deeply humiliated, his confidence shattered. This loss leaves the group vulnerable, forcing Ben to take on an even greater leadership role. Mark Petrie, the unexpected hero. Mark Petrie emerges as one of the story's most compelling characters. Despite his young age, his resourcefulness and courage rival that of the adults. Mark's fascination with monsters and magic initially sets him apart from his peers, but it proves invaluable when he faces the vampires. Mark's confrontation with Danny Glick showcases his ingenuity and determination. Using a homemade cross and quick thinking, he manages to repel the vampire, saving his own life. This encounter cements Mark's place in the group, as his knowledge of folklore and his fearlessness become crucial in their battle against Barlow. Mark also provides a counterpoint to Ben's emotional struggle. Where Ben is weighed down by guilt and loss, Mark represents resilience and hope, inspiring the others to continue their fight. The climax, darkness versus light. The final assault on the Marston house is the culmination of the group's journey, both physically and emotionally. Each member confronts their personal fears and demons as they enter the house. The oppressive atmosphere seems to sap their strength, but they press on, driven by the knowledge that failure would doom the town entirely. Inside, they find Barlow's coffin surrounded by his vampire minions. The battle is brutal and chaotic, with each member using their unique skills to fend off the undead. Matt's knowledge of vampire lore, Mark's quick thinking, and Ben's sheer determination prove vital in this climactic moment. Barlow awakens, and his presence is overwhelming. He taunts the group, exploiting their vulnerabilities, but Ben confronts him directly. In a desperate struggle, Ben drives a stake through Barlow's heart, destroying him and breaking his hold over the town. The other vampires disintegrate, their connection to Barlow severed. The aftermath, a town lost. The victory is bittersweet. Salem's Lot is a shadow of its former self, its population decimated and its future uncertain. The survivors are few, and the scars of their ordeal run deep. Ben and Mark leave the town, knowing they cannot rebuild what has been lost. As they drive away, Ben reflects on the cost of their fight. He has lost Susan and many of his friends, and the town he once called home is no longer recognizable. However, he takes solace in the fact that they have stopped the evil from spreading beyond Salem's Lot. Mark, though deeply affected by the events, displays a quiet strength. He becomes a symbol of resilience, a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is hope. A lingering darkness. Though Barlow is defeated, the story ends on an ambiguous note. The Marston house still stands, its presence a reminder of the horrors that unfolded. Ben and Mark carry their experiences with them, knowing that evil can manifest anywhere, even in the most unassuming places. The final moments suggest that while they have won this battle, the war against darkness is never truly over. The story's haunting conclusion leaves viewers with a sense of unease, a reminder that some shadows can never be fully erased. This summary captures the essence of Salem's Lot, 2024, presenting a tale of horror, heroism, and the enduring battle between light and darkness. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.